Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Wildman Revolution podcast, which is actually morphing, evolving into the Wildman Revolution show, but more about that in the near future. I have a good buddy of mine back on the podcast. The first time we did record or attempt to record the podcast, the sound was a bit scratchy and the tech stuff was all out of whack, but we went ahead with it anyway. But it's really, really good to have this man back. Sound's working, video's working, all good. Mr. Dan Henderson, how are you, brother?
I'm great, brother. Steve, the Wild Man McNamara, how are you?
Oh, I'll take the Wild Man. Yeah, I'm very well, mate. I'm very well. Mate, it's been a little while in between when we had you on last time and now, and I know a lot happens in your world as it does mine in short amounts of time. And I think the big thing I wanted to touch on to start was like your area of expertise and how it's so needed right now. You just want to give a bit of a rundown of your background and what's really lighting you up now as well for the listeners and viewers.
Certainly. So a bit about my background. I started in personal training back in 2007, 2008. And then I quickly was able to become recognized as more of a weight loss trainer. And from there, then I probably did that for about 7 years. Then I had a break and I ended up going into management and running the whole PT team, which is a good, I suppose, upskilling for myself to be able to learn all different aspects of managing trainers, but managing people more than anything. So I did that for about 3 or 4 years and got some great success. And then I started having that craving to get back into the PT world again. And I didn't really leave it. I was still doing some part-time stuff, but what I was starting to learn, because I had some injuries myself, was injury management. And so I was starting to learn exactly what it was like to go through the system or the medical system to try and rehabilitate my own injuries. And then also how that failed and didn't work for me. And then I started to learn about rehabilitation myself and started to get very, very interested in what it would take to be able to coach somebody through rehabilitating a joint or a pain point in their body. So that started to become very, very exciting for me. And then for the last, I think we're up to 9 years now, I've been in the rehab space and still got a very high passion for it and absolutely loving it at the moment. So yeah, that's kind of a little bit of background for me. And then I've shifted away from the gym space into 2021. And now we're into the online space. And what we're doing now is we're specifically working on coaching people to heal their lower back pain, which is well needed, as you've said, Steve. And the way we're going about it is a holistic approach. So what we're doing essentially is giving people all the tools required in order to be able to take onus of their own pain, not rely on the system so much, and do it in a holistic and organic way. And they get several coaches to be able to help them get through that process and upskill themselves to be able to then take all of that and then continue to heal themselves going forth. And it's not just about healing that back pain, but more so what we're starting to realize is that people are actually transforming their whole lives, and they're actually now starting to become a bit of an inspiration for others as well. So there's some really nice side effects that are happening from this course.
I like that. Nice side effects. There's not all bad symptoms and side effects out there, guys. You're going to get signs along the journey. And like you say, really, really honing in on that, like the recovery or the holistic approach of healing with lower back pain. And it's really cool what you guys have got set up with the several different coaches too. It's not just like, this is what Dan wants to do and this is my experience and that. You've got different approaches which make it so wholesome, because we know there's like a physical level, there's a structural level, there's a behaviors come into it. There's also an emotional level that needs to shift. And I know with my work with trauma especially and things like that, the emotions are the key, the stuck energy in the body. And I love the approach you guys have got about you're basically training people or getting them to be reprogrammed to be resourceful too. And that's the only way we can manage any problems or things we had. We've got to implement new behaviors, but at the core of it is the underlying stuff. You've got to let go of a lot of stuff too, but then being resourceful so then they can manage it themselves.
Yes.
you basically got a similar intention to me with coaching. I want my job to become null and void from the work I do. I want people to go, okay, I've got the shit, I've got the tools, boom, 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 boom. I don't need Steve anymore. I don't need Dan anymore. So I love that too. I think that's I feel that'll have you stand out in the space too, because there's a lot of what would you say? A lot of modalities and stuff out there. They want clients coming back and coming back and coming back. For I know physios and that they've got clients they've had for years. Like fuck.
Yeah.
So
well, then are you doing your job right? You know? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I when clients come up after 6 months or 12 months with me and we have a really honest chat, I'm like, well, how would you feel being out in the world by yourself? I'm like, the healing journey I think is ongoing, but at the same time, I'll be honest and I'm like, I feel like I've played my part, man. You got some great career to go with.
Yeah.
On your way.
Yeah. I completely agree. And I mean, you know, to be able to, the thing is, you know, we've been healing our bodies for centuries. Do you know what I mean? Like we it's already in us. All we're doing is, I suppose, re-sparking, you know what I mean? Things that the body already knows, the mind already knows. And like you said, with the trauma, we want to get rid of all of the garbage that's in there to be able for them to then get themselves out of the way and actually start to do the work. Honestly, openly, and also with a little bit of passion, do you know what I mean, behind what they're actually doing, rather than being stuck in the system, not sure, spending money, not really putting all of their efforts into it. They're not 100% into it, and they don't have the accountability, and they don't have also, you know, things that they're actually being coached so they can start to heal themselves. So that's the real point of difference for us.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. You talk about the spending money one. Like I'm massive on like in investing in myself, but especially my health. I value it. It's like the pillar of everything in life. And you mentioned before, like the positive side effects from your clients or your marketplace investing in their health. Now, I know from clients of mine that a lot of them do come with health issues. Now, I'm not going to go and I'm not going to do what you guys do. I've got some experience, especially in some embodiment, but I would look at, all right, cool. Like, what have you done about this? It's like a question. What have you been doing about it? And they will spend a lot of money, but they'll spend it in the system, or they'll spend it on a Band-Aid solution or a quick fix, or they'll spend it on this fancy diet they've seen on TV or something like that. Not that many of my clients watch TV anymore, especially once they start working with them, they don't. But the difference is, say they came to you and they're like, all right, you got a package or something like that. They've got to spend money, but it is for something that they embody. It's something they walk away with.
And it's life skills. They're buying a skill set to learn for life, to be able to keep themselves out of pain, because the pain can always come back. It can always come back, because as human beings, we can always slip back into old habits. So, you know, once you've got these skills embedded in you, then your habits change. Everything changes for you, and then you start to radiate that, and other people want to be around you, and they're like, "Wow, what are you doing? Like you look amazing. You know, you've got no more pain. You're back doing this. You're back doing that. Tell me, talk to me about it. You know." And these are the positive side effects that we're getting with our clients. It fires me up. That's what lights me up. Is getting those kind of
it's such a good thing. And like I say, the whole thing is just like highlighting men doing good in the world. And I think when you feel like you're doing good or you're on purpose is what you're talking about, which a lot of men lack still at the moment, is that purpose.
100%.
Like talking to someone like yourself about helping people, and it just lights you up. I think that's one of it's just the most amazing driver that we can have to go on, and even with our own stuff going on in our world. Like you're a father, you got young Quinn there, you know, an amazing relationship. That takes focus and everything too. That takes you looking after your health and everything as well.
Correct.
And I think a lot of people, when they get these physical ailments, be it back pain or anything like that, they they miss the point that that's affecting their relationships, or that's affecting how they can show up as a mother or a father or a husband or a wife. And is that what you're talking about too? Like their life improves when you see them improve?
It's a lifestyle upgrade, Steve, because like when they're in that space of it's negative, I'm taking pain medication, I'm resting all the time, I'm really, really careful around what I do and how I move. I don't want to train, I don't want to do that because I might hurt myself again. So they're playing in the space of fear. and that is detrimental not only to them but to the others around them, and that could be kids, husband, wife, father, mother, work colleagues, school mates, whatever it's going to be. You're affecting everybody around you with how you're feeling and your mood and your energy that you're radiating. So yeah, it can be, they can end up going down a really long rabbit hole, and it can be very, very detrimental to their health. Yeah.
Well, what have you got to say to the listeners or viewers out there that mightn't just be ready to reach out to yourself at Prison Performance and really go all in and totally transform their life, but if they're like looking for maybe some tips or some simple guidance, what would you recommend was some simple starting steps maybe?
The best bet would be to join our newsletter. So every week we send out a weekly newsletter that's going to give people free information on exactly how we work, but also what we're doing with our clients as well. You know, and our pillars that we work on, which is we're working on, you know, the exercise selection, the mindset. We're working on nutrition, and obviously we've got coaches for all this, breath work, yoga. There's lots of kind of different modalities that we're working on, but it's all working towards a perfect, you know, like a better picture of health for that person. So the best thing to kind of get yourself started, if you're just kind of, oh, I'm not too sure, I don't want to spend that much money, or is the back pain that bad, I'm kind of second guessing, jumping into our newsletter helps you to be able to kind of get an idea of what we do, but also we give free information away. So you can start implementing these small things into their lifestyle as they go. And then they can also join our Facebook group where people are talking all the time, Insta, all that sort of thing will kind of get them connected. And that's the main thing, is because people are kind of doing this on their own. But if they've got a community, we all want to be part of a tribe. If they've got a community that they can kind of bounce off, and even, you know, we have people that are emailing us and we're just giving them, you know, some free advice backwards and forwards and just kind of nurturing them a little bit. And that sometimes can just be enough for people to go, you know what, I'm gonna put my foot in and give it a go. So that would be the first step. They can get to us through our Facebook page and also through Insta as well.
Yeah, I'll drop all the links and everything down below too for all that.
Perfect.
Yeah. And for everyone listening and watching out there, I go on about this all the time, like people being resourceful. That's one of the biggest problems we have as humans. People are lazy, or they let their shit get in the way, and they're busy. Yes. They're busy, but they're always deflecting from, you've just offered, like, we do free advice. Come to us. It's free. The only thing it's going to cost you is probably a couple of clicks and actually reading something. It's so easy. And again, it could be the one bit of information that you take in, the one thing you actually apply, or the one story or testimonial you hear that could give you that boost or that motivation, or like you say, that little bit of extra support with no strings attached to say, hey, we'll nurture on the journey. Don't have to come and work with us, but hey, it could be the one thing that you've been needing for years and years and years that could just flip everything and go, holy shit. And that's it. It's like, might be that nudge in the right direction. And I think everyone needs a nudge every now and then. I really feel that we do need a nudge. And a lot of men that I see in life, the nudge comes in a total pain point, like a rock bottom, like a back against the wall. I've just got a diagnosis, or I've just got something going on with my health, or my kids don't want to talk to me, or my wife, in a really bad relationship or unhealthy, whatever it is, or I'm drinking too much. They get to that. Why do people get to that? Because that's always been their motivator. But what you're offering here now, and what so many people of the world are offering, is like, hey, you don't have to wait till you're rock bottom. Why don't you just start to like dip your toes in now, start to be a little bit awake and like take in some information, or try some things right now before you get to that point. And then your motivators starting to come from pleasure and results versus oh no, I can't
we've got lots of people on our newsletter list, and we nurture them as best we possibly can, but some people might take a couple of years to come out of the woodwork. Do you know what I mean? But we know that these people are taking the information because we can see that they're reading the emails or the newsletter, and whether they're applying or not, we sometimes know, sometimes we don't, but it could be little things as making sure you've got filtered water, an anti-inflammatory diet. Do you know what I mean? Start cooking meals using anti-inflammatory recipes. It's little things like that, making sure that you're getting quality sleep, making sure that you're out there. Even just walking, Steve, can actually relieve back pain. 30 minutes of walking a day can relieve it by up to 70%. Brisk walk. Do you know what I mean? So there's really simple steps that people can start to implement into their lifestyle before they come to us. And that's what we're all about, being able to share with people and encourage people to do, because we just want to take your money. You know what I mean? It's not about that for us. We're actually passionate about empowering people to do the work for themselves. And when they do, the results tenfold as to what they expected. So yeah, that's what we're all about.
Yeah, you touched on like the anti-inflammatory diet and like looking after yourself that way. Like a lot of people don't even understand out there that they're probably allergic to foods, or they're probably getting what they think is healthy from the supermarket, but it's just loaded with shit. Even myself, like I've slowly got educated as I tune into my body over the years, because I really suffered from inflammation for a long time.
Right.
Yeah, I did. It's why I actually got into yoga and actual body work, but never really, I thought I was eating healthy, but I wasn't. There's certain foods I can't have. There's certain, you could say it's gluten, but there's more to it than gluten. Like without getting into the particulars around it, I just started to change intuitively and by getting educated and by like, all right, inflammation. Like I did a lot of body stuff, external, ice baths. But then when I changed what I ate and what I didn't eat, that's made the most difference. Even the water, like drinking tap water. So many people still drink tap water.
I know. It's nuts. It's nuts.
Oh,
yeah. It's crazy.
You want to just talk to that a little bit around, especially around that the foods in that maybe how people can make better choices.
So what people have got to understand is that if you've got inflammation in your body and you're suffering from back pain at the moment, and you're putting the wrong foods, you're putting the wrong liquids into your body, that is going to increase your inflammation. Yeah. And one thing that you can start doing is actually checking in with your body as to how you're feeling after that certain meal. Yeah. Have I eaten too much? Am I feeling too full, too bloated? And has my pain started to increase here? These are tiny little things that people can start doing. There's so much information on the internet to be able to look up anti-inflammatory recipes. Do you know what I mean? You can get them quite easily. Well Nourished is a really good website to be able to go to find anti-inflammatory recipes as well. And then also the water. I mean, we're drinking tap water. I mean, there's so much fluoride and chlorine and metals and so forth and so on in tap water. I highly, Steve will say the same thing as well. Recommend that you don't drink tap water and you try to get yourself an in-house filter. I mean, we've both got the Kangen, and that works really, really well for our families and ourselves. And you've got to be drinking more of it as well. I know a lot of people that come to us that barely touch water. And when you're suffering from back pain and you haven't got the water or the hydration coming into your body, the cushions in between your spine, in between your the vertebrae in between your spine, they get less and less and less and less. So the pressure through your movement throughout the day, increases the pain more and more and more. So the better hydrated we are, the more cushioning we've got, the more space we've got in between that vertebrae. And that's going to help relieve the pain more. So that's a little bit of insight as to what to do. But we've also got our in-house nutritionist, Chrissy Freer from Byron Bay. She's been in the game for a long, long time, 20 odd years. And we utilize her anti-inflammatory cookbook, which we send out to every new client. So they've got that blueprint there. And then they also get in our higher package, they get a 75-minute start-off session with her, where she goes through absolutely everything and gives you everything that you need to be able to do in order to be able to get your nutrition back on board as well.
Yeah, there you go, everyone out there. There's no excuses, really. There is no excuses. And again, you don't have to get to that point. I suffered with inflammation in my body for years and years and years, and I thought it's how it was. Even doctors said, you've got chronic arthritis. That's what they put me in. They're like, you've just got chronic arthritis.
That's the system for you.
Yeah, exactly. And for me, it was always intuitively like, no, I can't have. No. Why does it go away? And then I just, again, in time, I started listening to my body. I started trialing new things. I started with the external, how I trained, and like I say, bringing in yoga and breath work and ice baths. And that was like management. but it was the nutrition and the hydration, which has changed everything. And it's allowed me to go deeper into all them other practices and everything like that. So then I'm not doing it for a management tool or I'm sore, I need to do this to stop being sore. Now I'm doing it because I already feel good. And I'm feeling better.
That's it. More energy, better sleep, everything.
Yes, 100%. And one thing to go with the water, tap water not only is a lot of shit in it, but there's a lot of water out there, plastic bottled water. It's something I've got to catch myself on every now and then. Convenience versus you can get filtered water in a plastic bottle, but who knows what's in that? It's still toxic for your body, or it's probably acidic now, or it's probably
correct.
Not. So there's all these different things with water that's really important that I just invite everybody to look into further. But being hydrated, we are like, what are we, like 80 or 90% water or something anyway?
Yeah, 70 to 80. Yeah.
Well, we are. So if we're dehydrated all the time and we're drinking like caffeine drinks and all that, I'm not saying caffeine's bad. Guys, I love a good coffee.
Too much of it is. But it'll dehydrate you.
Exactly, on top of the water and everything. The other thing that really helps me is grounding. Bare feet on the ground as much as I can in nature.
Nice.
That's something that goes hand in hand, I believe, because if you have a look, there's so many studies out there that show, especially when I've seen a few studies, a guy that's really good, what's his name? Kaufman. What's his first name? Anyway, on YouTube, he's really cool. He goes into scientific studies around what the body does when we do these certain things and practices. And he's got one out there from a while ago, is grounding, what happens to the body when you ground bare feet while you're hydrated. Really important. Done the studies with people who are dehydrated, people who are hydrated. We're literally like a positive, negative charge going through the earth, and it replenishes the body energetically. When we're hydrated. Another example would be the old batteries. You ever have a car battery where it's flat, but it's just low on water or acid, and you put water in it and it can charge up? Our body is the same.
That's right. Yeah, cool.
One battery wouldn't charge up when it's empty on the acid or the water. You put water in it and you charge up. It's got energy. So fascinating stuff.
It's interesting that you say that, because this week's newsletter, we did some outdoor videos, because we want people to actually enjoy rehab, because rehabilitation can be a little bit tedious and it's slow and so forth and so on. So in this week's newsletter, what we've actually done, it's funny you say that, is we're encouraging people to go outside, get themselves grounded at the beach, at the park, encouraging them to go for walks, but do their work. They can do all of their exercise and their soft tissue work and their stretching. They can do it all outside. Get some vitamin D, get your feet on the grass, get some fresh oxygen coming into your body as well. And it's going to charge you, like you said, it is going to charge your body in a positive way, and the endorphins are actually going to be supercharged, rather than what you would do if you were just outside. And when you're doing your exercise, your endorphins kick up, even by a higher percentage. So interesting that you said that.
I've been, even with my own like way I run my days and that in the mornings, I've changed things up a lot. I'm always drinking the water in the morning. I'm getting out my bare feet on the grass. I'm doing my best. The sun's coming up later and later, but I'm getting the sunlight before I have caffeine drinks. I'm doing the body practice outside. It makes so much difference to your energy levels. Again, without going into dopamine and all that. So just your energy levels. So many people are lacking energy because they need to sharpen up on a few things. And I notice, even I'm like super disciplined, but by being shifting things, I'm noticing the difference just from them things myself.
But Steve, when you say, you just touched on discipline, but that's only come because you've felt it. Do you know what I mean? Like that discipline, you've continued to do it because you've felt it, right? And for the people that go, I don't have self-discipline, or there's no time, so forth and so on, you've got to actually put your feet in the water, or you'll go head first in to be able to feel it. And once you feel it, and it's like, hold on, I'm feeling slightly better here. Is this actually working? That's the biggest thing, is like, you've actually got to take a risk and go for it. You know what I mean? Because what else have you got to lose but losing your back pain at the end of the day? So I love that.
And I think on the back pain or anything like that, there is such a stigma out there in society. It's like, once you've got it, I've just got a bad back, and that becomes your story, and then the body's listening. I've just got a bad back. It's just because I've worked hard. I've just got a bad back. That's it. But it doesn't have to be that way.
And if it's, unless it's like structural or they've had actual physical trauma, 90% of back pain can be healed this way holistically. Yeah, like one client comes to mind, and she's almost the perfect client because she does absolutely everything every coach asks her to do. And because she's done that, she's achieved fantastic results of, I think she's up to 15 kilos of weight loss now. She was at 110 kilos, and she's in her mid 40s. And it's like, well, yeah, obviously that's unhealthy for a woman in her mid 40s. So now she's in the 90s now, and we're going to keep going further. She's got no more back pain after 12 weeks, but she's up to week 20 now. Yeah, and absolutely loving it. She's actually joined the gym with her husband, and they go together. Yeah. She's now also inspiring people because she's now learned breath work and meditation. She's actually taking people through meditation at her lunch break at work. You know what I mean? And she's starting to inspire people around her. And the difference of her, she goes, I don't know what I was doing beforehand. And other things as far as physical goes, she's back playing golf. And her husband said in the background in one of our catch-up meetings, said, mate, 12 weeks ago, that never would have happened. Never would. In 100 years would we have thought she'd be back swinging that golf club. She'd just be coming down to watch me. Now she's back swinging it. She stood up in her paddleboard for the first time ever. She bought it, was always sitting on it paddling, but now she's actually standing and paddling. Now, these little things that she can do in life now, it's a massive game changer. Yeah, huge.
That's massive. It's life stuff. Like, people want a better quality of life.
Yeah, you can have it. You can have it.
Yeah, and that's what most people will sacrifice, the things they love or their passions or their joys. Like, that's it. I can't do it because of this. And it's like that cause and effect. But it's like to their detriment. So that's so good to hear. You touched on weight loss a few times. You're looking pretty trim right now, brother. What's going on?
Yeah. So I'm in the final stages of getting ready for my first amateur boxing fight. So it's been a pretty hard physical journey, I must say. But the goal is to get down to 82. I started out at about 88 and a bit. So I've got about another 1.5 kilos to go, hitting kind of cruiserweight. So it's exciting. I'm very nervous, but I'm getting better and better each week. And the coaching that I've got is awesome. And the sparring partners that I've got are really, really cool too. And there's just a beautiful vibe down at the ring that I box and spar at. But it's something that's been on my bucket list for many years. I never thought I'd be able to do it. I'd thought about it in my 30s. And thought, oh, look, I'm getting a bit past it now. They won't accept anybody that's this old, so forth and so on. But I was selling myself on that story. Hadn't even done the research yet. I did have a trainer back in Sydney, or just one of the other PTs in my gym that was taking me through some boxing stuff. And I really, really loved it. I coached fitness boxing for 15 years. And I just thought, you know what? I just want to start doing the things in life that I really want to do. I don't want to be sitting back at 60 going, oh man, I wish I did that a bit earlier. Oh, I wish I got off my ass and did that. Yeah, now's my time to actually start doing the things in life that I want to do and start lighting me up as well. And boxing is one of those things. And I'm also, what I'm doing is pushing myself out of my comfort zone, Steve. And it's a massive push out of your comfort zone because you're getting hit in the head, you're getting hit in the body, so forth and so on. And that's a great thing for people to be able to do too, because then so many other things can happen from that. So much positivity can happen from that as well, and learning, and I'm in a growth mindset rather than a fixed mindset all of the time, which is fantastic. So no matter if I have a bad session or a bad sparring session, I'm trying to learn from it as much as I can, grow and move forward. Yeah, so it's exciting. Yeah,
you mentioned like the growing part there. What and you're excited about it, and there's so many positives from it. What has been the biggest challenge for you with it?
I think physically managing my energy physically. I kind of had a bit of a rest week about a week and a half ago. I kind of hit the wall. I was overtraining and not quite eating enough and not getting enough sleep. So the food I was having was quality, but I wasn't eating enough of it for the amount of energy that I was expending, which is quite demanding on the body. So that's probably been the biggest challenge for me, is being able to manage my energy. And being a projector, I really need to manage my energy well.
Well, you human design people out there, both Dan and I are projectors. Oh wow, has that been a learning journey for me over the last year?
Oh yes, me too. Yeah. So it definitely managing my body and its energy has been the biggest challenge. But the biggest positive out of it is probably the discipline that comes with it. You know what I mean? And also the amount of fun I'm having. Yeah. Which is really cool.
If you check out the earlier podcast guys with Jimmy Luppo, who's like got so many titles right now, he talks about the discipline of boxing.
Amazing.
It's one thing that not only have I got respect for any boxer in there, him especially knowing his backstory, but anyone who would commit to anything like this, even martial arts or that's got discipline that is literally at the core of it all.
Yeah,
it is at the core. That's why I love it. A lot of people out there go, "Oh, it's like it's brutal. It's this. It's that." It's like it can teach us as men. By the way, this is what we are built to work. We are built to like do. We are
and be physical.
The discipline of a sport like this, and it really brings everything into alignment. I think they are something that every man needs to have in their life. Something that helps them like be disciplined. They're just, it's one of the things. I don't know if that's the right way to say it, but it's like I feel most men are lacking it that I see, especially ones that come to me to work with me. They're lacking something in their life that they can get a lot more out of, or they can be disciplined with. And again, maybe it's an invite or a bit of encouragement or a push for men out there. If you're looking to bring something in, go down to the local boxing gym or whatever. They are more than welcoming.
Yeah, 100%. Any age too. Like I thought I was too old at 43. And then my coach, Blessing, looked at me and he went, "Brother, I've put people in the ring at 65 plus and they've won and knocked the guy out. Like you are not too young. You've got plenty of fighting years left in you. Yeah. As long as you do the work and we get the skills set up and you've got a game plan, you'll be fine. You'll be absolutely fine." So yeah, like you're saying, encourage all men to have some sort of outlet, because we don't really, look at our emotions as men enough, and we don't know how to handle our emotions enough. Do you know what I mean? And to have an outlet like boxing or something physical like that, to be able to kind of release some emotional baggage or what have you, or energy, is a good and positive thing. And also another good side effect is, of course, I'm focusing more on, diet. I'm not drinking alcohol, and I'm feeling like, what have I been doing? Like drinking alcohol on the weekend, so forth and so on. It just shifting over to 0% beers for just a start. I can still have a drink, but there's no alcohol involved with it. So that's a biggie for a lot of men as well, is that alcohol can be quite a problem. Yeah.
Beer tastes like shit anyway. I don't care if it's got alcohol.
I know how you feel about it. Yeah.
And my back, I used to drink like crazy and take drugs and all that. And it took me years for my body to sort of clean that out with other things. And it's so good to hear now that one of the things you go, all right, I've got to be disciplined with this goal I've got. I'm going to be boxing. I'm going to be doing a fight. Well, some things have got to go. And drinking alcohol from a positive look, not from, oh my God, my life's fucked, I need to stop drinking. From a positive look, this is it. This is in alignment. If I want that goal, or if I want to be at my optimum, alcohol's got to go. Oh shit, alcohol's gone. I feel fucking amazing.
Correct. And what I figured out is it's more just the stimulus of actually having the drink. At this age, it's not about getting drunk and smashed, and getting fucked up. It's not about that. It's just the stimulus of having a drink. So the alcohol doesn't actually even matter anymore. And it doesn't mean that I'm never going to touch alcohol again. I do enjoy a drink. I mean, I was a cocktail bartender for a long time. I love making cocktails, having a cocktail when it's nice and hot. But now I know that I don't need it as much. And I can have it in moderation. And then when I do have it, I actually enjoy it a lot better, and I don't have to have as much as well. So it's really, really changed the way I view it and the way I look at it as well.
Yeah, if I had a drink of alcohol these days, I'd have one glass, it'd be off my tits, I reckon.
Yeah, I know. At your wedding, I think you had half a beer and went, nah, stuff.
Like, I don't know if it was the taste, but like you say, it was like, oh, I'm around, I'll have a beer for the wedding, and like, holy crap, the day was good enough as it was. I didn't need to do that, but yeah, it's really good to hear, and I think coming through this is like, again, we don't have to be in pain to change our behaviors. We don't have to have some positive outcome in mind. Set yourself some goals, like do the bucket list thing, or just bring into your life. I love what you said. It's like, I'm not going to get to the end of something about like, I'm going to do this now. I've always wanted to do this. Why not do it? Why not do things in my life now?
Exactly. Why not?
What I'm passionate about. It's why I'm like back into golf all the time now. I love golf growing up, but I had a lot of emotional dramas going on that I couldn't deal with, my anger and all this. But now that I've done a lot of work, a lot of healing, I'm getting back into it. I'm fucking loving it. Loving it. Even winning golf now, which is like,
good man.
I'm getting back to where I should have been a long time ago. And it's like, why would we put this stuff off? Like it's actually, we are here on this planet to live life to the fullest. And I think it is so distorted what people see. It's like, I'm going to live life to my fullest, so I'm going to do it to my detriment or do it to sacrifice. I'm going to get fucked up all the time because I've got one life.
Yeah.
It's not. Do the things that you love or your passion.
Yeah, that's right.
Or do the things that you've put off all your life because you're like, oh, I can't do that because I can't be seen to be having fun or whatever's going on. Just fucking do it. And do the things that light you up. Do the things that you love doing or you always wanted to do as a kid. It could be that simple. I've always wanted to ... Do it.
Yeah, exactly. But most people go, oh, I don't have time. I've got 2 kids. I've got 3 kids. You know what I mean? I don't have time to do this. Everything's for everybody else. But especially men, is we don't take enough time for ourselves, even just to be with ourselves, just to meditate for 5 minutes and just get some peace and quiet, to breathe. Do you know what I mean? Like just to take some actual time for yourself and being able to commit to something that you actually want to do, and you're committed and you get your partner behind you, you get your kids behind you. I tell you what, it is a game changer, because the side effects that'll happen, you know, the positive side effects from that will then, I suppose, you know, springboard you into the next thing and then the next thing. And then all of a sudden your life's starting to take a different direction. Yeah. So highly encourage that you guys just go after it. Yeah.
It's something big I'm on, and I'm going to start teaching men this too. I do with my private clients, but I'm going to put together something very, very soon around like schedule and time and stuff. Like time is a construct. Yeah, it's good for like setting appointments and like setting targets and all that, but it's a construct, and we get more effective at things. We become more efficient. We get to bend that time. But a lot of men don't operate this way. They literally go, there's what it is. Monday to Friday, there's the box, there's 8 hours, that's what it is. And they don't implement things bit by bit so they can free up some time for themselves. One of the big things that Chaitanya, my beautiful queen, and I have really worked on over the last few years is like timing our schedule, our what we do, our passions, our work. To suit her cycle. To suit my energy cup, filling my energy cup, to suit our date days and like our relationship time, our family time. We design it. The last thing that goes in our schedule is work.
That's the way it should be. That's the way it should be. Yeah.
And it's, I understand there is so much societal conditioning out there and programming for decades, if not more, around men and women.
This is the way it is.
Really, it's like it is the slave system, but we can slowly break free. I think I've been on this journey since I left the mines about 8 or so years now. And I was so rigid in my structure, in my time, in my schedule and everything. And being an entrepreneur smashed that apart. And I have had my challenges. This is the thing, people out there. It's not rainbows and fucking unicorns. It's like, oh, I'll put work hard. The first year I got into the entrepreneurial life, I was like, I'll get to that. I was networking and network marketing. I had no fucking idea. But what did I do? I learned some tougher lessons by going, fuck the structure, fuck the time. And then I was broke.
And run down probably.
Totally run down, totally like stimulants and all that. But I was like, my point in sharing this is there are ways we can do things out there, guys, that health, back, all this sort of rehabilitation and stuff you're talking about for most of this interview, but even just in life, guys, where we can just implement small things that can have a flow-on effect that you don't know yet. You don't realize a flow effect, like from a schedule and prioritizing your health and your passions and stuff like that, and your goals or your bucket. The flow-on effect that when you're feeling good, it's pretty simple. More feeling good shit's going to show up.
Exactly right. You'll attract more things into your life.
The world through a different lens. Instead of it being, all right, my life's sucking right now, all you're going to see is other people's life sucking or chaos in the world. And, all right, shit's fucking good. I'm feeling good. I've just hit this goal, or I've just spent more time with the wife or the kids. Holy fuck. Whoa. Where did this new friendship come from?
Exactly right.
Opportunity come from? Whoa, where did this new goal or inspiration come from? Fuck, this energy, this drive.
And when you're down there and you're playing in that space of, my life's fucked, I've got no time, I've got no, no energy, blah, blah, blah. You're attracting the type of people that will feed off that. Do you know what I mean? So you're surrounding yourself with people that are going to keep you there. It takes you to make the decision to be able to get out of it and go, I'm going to start doing something positive for myself. And like you said, you'll start attracting the right people, which will then open up more doors, more opportunities, more ideas, so forth and so on. So that's another real driver for men and women as well, is that, if you want to kind of get out of that space, you have to take the first step, and find the support. You've got to have the support. You've got to have a team around you to be able to do it. Especially if you think that, there's no way I can do that. You need to build the team around you in order to do that. Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. Environment is so key, but you're at the center of it. And again, if you have a positive intent with anywhere you put your time, energy, focus, be it physical or just energetically, you have positive intent. What's happening in the universe will conspire to come into alignment with your positive intent. It doesn't mean magic shit's going to happen and everything just manifests
overnight. Yeah.
You got to keep taking that step, and you got to keep taking that step, and you got to keep having positive intent even when you get challenged, because then generally challenges are then presented to you because it's something you've got to work through, let go of, embrace, or grow through, most importantly, for you to then have the evidence that positive intent was aligned, or, oh my God, then there's a result. And I think that's what puts a lot of people off too. And maybe going back and transitioning back to like the back pain and stuff, I feel a lot of people they know that they could probably get a great outcome from doing this sort of work, but they're like, holy fuck, this is going to be challenging. So they don't take the step. What would be your message to them?
Well, I'd say, our course isn't for everybody, Steve. It's not. And I'll be 100% honest with that. It is not for everybody, because it takes a commitment level that is of probably quite a high caliber, because, and we don't like to bombard, our clients straight away. We try to drip feed it bit by bit. Do you know what I mean? Over the 12 weeks, we break it down into 4-week kind of phases. And, you need to come in with a clear mind and also a commitment level that is, I am here to learn. I'm in a growth mindset now. I'm not going to stay in my fixed mindset, which is where I've been for many, many years. Now I'm actually here to learn. Just like you did when you were at school. Now I'm here to actually learn, implement these things into my life. And once they do, and they do the work, I mean, we've got just so many beautiful clients that are getting such great results. I can tell you it's happening and it works. Yeah.
Cool. Fast forward 5 years from now, how do you see the world, and how do you see your role in it then?
Oh, that's a good question. I mean, being the type personality, or the person I am, I want the best for the world. I want everybody to be happy. I can see the world going in a different direction, especially after COVID, of, I suppose, having a greater awareness about themselves. I can see in 5 years' time that people are going to be waking up a lot more to what's available to them, and what they can do for themselves in order to be able to become the best version of themselves. That's what I can see in 5 years' time, and looking at it through a lens of positivity for the world. And what was the second part?
And how do you see your role in that?
So our role will still be the same, which will be to empower, but our reach will be a lot greater to be able to do that. But we also want to empower people to empower others, Steve. It's not just about, we empower you to do it for yourself and then see you later. Well done. Congratulations. You've got all the tools. You can keep healing yourself. We actually want to utilize those people to then start healing people that are in the same fucking situation that they have been, because that's how we actually start to build a tribe of people that are actually doing good in the world. You know what I mean? And they're actually taking onus of what they're doing and sharing their stories. Yeah. Sharing their skill sets with people. So in 5 years' time, we want to have a big community of people that are empowering others all the time. That's what I see in my role is.
Yeah. Love that. This has been a fantastic catch up, mate. We could chat about this all day, but we're like going.
Yeah, we could.
Mind you, I've been going for 45 minutes. So awesome, mate. Yeah. Is there any last things you want to share with the people out there? Any guidance or anything?
I would say step up and take the plunge. Don't continue to live in a place of fear, because it's not going to get you anywhere. And the people that are watching around you or that you surround yourself with are going to be affected by it. So step out of that place of fear, take the plunge, even if it's small things like we were talking about, small little things that you can start to make positive changes in your life. Do it, go for it, research, find the help that you need. If we're the right fit for you, then let's have a look. Steve's going to put all the links in the bottom. But yeah, I just encourage you to get out of that mindset of fear and then start embracing who you are and know that you're a powerful human being and that you can do anything that you put your mind to. I know it's a cliche, but you actually can. And if you've got the right support around you and the guidance, man, you can become an amazing version of yourself. And you've got all the power already. You've just got to realize that you have. Yeah.
Awesome, mate. Love it. Dan Henderson, thank you very much.
Thank you, Steve.
Ladies and gentlemen, get in contact with him now, even if it's just for the free newsletter.
That's it.
You're a bloody legend, mate. What you're doing in the world is fantastic. Thank you for being on this latest edition of the Wild Man Revolution podcast.
Thank you very much for having me, Steve. Appreciate it. Look forward to the next one. See you, mate.